Hi children. So I'm going to have a go at drawing my story map. I've been thinking for a while about how my story could go. So I'm going to start with my main character and his name is going to be Terry. But before I do that, I need to draw my story S. So I'm going to start at the top here. Go down, check you can see. And down and round. Then I've got my story S. Okay, so I'm going to start with Terry. So I'm going to draw him up here. Now, as you know, my drawing isn't the best, so be kind. So here's Terry. And Terry is a bit like Andy. He works at the museum. So I'm going to draw up here the museum. So Terry, who works at the museum. So he is a bit clumsy, a bit like Andy as well. And one day he dropped a triceratops egg. Here he is. There's the dropped egg. And this is his boss, Sarah. And he knows that Sarah will be really, really, really sad. So here's Sarah. Really sad that he's dropped the egg and broken it. So Terry thinks, what could I do to help him? And then he remembers he's got a special clock that can take him anywhere in time. It's a time travelling clock. But before he packs his bags, he thinks, oh, there's some things I might need to take on my adventure. So he grabs his rucksack. So there's my rucksack. Then he's going to put some different things in. So I had to think what I might like to take if I was travelling back to the time of the dinosaurs. And I thought I would take a net to catch the egg, a bottle of water in case I got thirsty, a juicy apple in case I got hungry, nice and healthy as well. And my camera to take some photos in case I saw anything exciting. So there are my things. I'm just going to check my story, check it makes sense. So there's Terry. He works in the museum, a bit like Andy. And one day he drops a triceratops egg. He knows that Sarah, who he works with, will be really, really sad. So he decides to travel back in time. Oh, I think I need to draw something so I know it's travelling back in time. Shall I draw a clock? And then I'm going to draw an arrow so I know it's going back in time. And before he goes, he packs his bag. Can you remember what I said he was going to pack in his rucksack? I said a net to catch and pick up the egg, a bottle of water in case he got thirsty, an apple in case he got hungry, and a camera to take the photos. So then he's packed his bag and I thought, okay, so Terry now, let's draw Terry again. There he is. He's going to use that time travel clock to go back in time. So let's draw the clock. And it's going back in time. So then he reaches the time of the dinosaurs. So I thought, what could I draw for the time of the dinosaurs? And I thought some really big trees. And a lake. Oh, it's looking a bit like a map again now. And then some dinosaurs. So I tried to have a think what dinosaurs I could draw, and I had to go at a brontosaurus. I'm going to have a go at a brontosaurus. And another one. Two brontosauruses. Because I think they often travel together. And then I draw Terry. Thought Terry, if he saw them, he would probably like to take some photos. There he is with his camera. And then, because he's looking for, what was he looking for again? Oh yes, a triceratops egg. So I'm going to draw some more trees and have a go at a triceratops. Three horns. Oh dear, where's his body? Okay, and then a nest. So here's the triceratops nest with the eggs in. So Terry is very quietly, when the Triceratops goes off, let's pretend he's gone for a walk over here. He's going to get his net and grab one of those eggs. Put it into his rucksack. So there's the bag, there's the egg, and there's the bag. I can draw something so I know it's a bag. But then the Triceratops is going to come back. Oops. And I think he's going to be pretty angry with Terry, because I would be pretty angry if somebody stole something from my nest. So he's going to come rushing back, and Terry's going to have to run off really, really quickly. So I'm going to do some zooming pictures. Zoom, zoom. So I know that he's rushing away. Then Terry is going to use his time machine to travel forwards in time, so back to the museum. So there's my museum. What did it look like before? Okay. And then he's going to put the egg back into the display cabinet. So there's the egg. And at the end of the picture, Sarah will be happy and Terry will be happy as well. I think Terry will be glad to be back safely after that adventure. That's Sarah with longer hair, so I know it's her. Okay, so I'm just going to check that my story makes sense. So there's Terry, who works at the Museum of London, and he has been cleaning out the display and he's dropped one of the Triceratops' eggs, which he knows is going to make Sarah really, really sad. So he decides to travel back in time and use his magic travel clock. He packs in his rucksack a net, a water bottle, an apple and a camera. And then he travels back to the time of the dinosaurs. There he sees a forest and a lake, and by the forest and lake are some brontosauruses. He takes his camera and takes some photos. Oh, maybe he needs to have a drink as well. Should we add that in there? Then I'll remember it when I write my story tomorrow. There we go. There's the apple and there's the drink. So he has a drink while he's taking the photos. He then finds a Triceratops' nest. When the Triceratops goes to the lake, let's draw that. Terry goes in with his net and he gets one of the eggs, puts it into his bag, and then all of a sudden back comes the Triceratops and he is very, very angry. So Terry runs as fast as he can, uses the travel clock to travel forwards to the museum, goes back to the museum, puts the egg back in the display, and Terry and Sarah are very happy that everything has ended happily. So now I've got my story map. I can make it look much nicer now. So I'm going to draw, well, I've finished my drawings, but now I'm going to colour it in really, really nicely. And that's all that you need to do today. So you can do your own story, or you can use my story as well, whichever is easier for you. Okay, have fun. And we look forward to seeing some of the pictures. Okay, bye.